Hello and welcome to the Wedding Club podcast by Be Our Guest Event.
Let's go.
Hello.
The season finale.
Dun, dun,
Yay,
dun.
already.
I know.
We're coming up to a very busy time.
Yeah.
We have had such fun though with these, haven't we?
Yeah, it's been really good.
Yeah.
I feel like we've probably got a bit like louder, a bit more talkative as the episodes have come on.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's been fun.
Yeah.
So today's episode, we're going to be answering a few more questions like we said we would. This is kind of the part 2. And then also we found some dilemmas online as well that we thought we'd answer because they are quite common and I'm sure they'll help someone out there.
And I get asked these questions a lot in the showroom.
Yeah.
So we thought we'd just address them today.
Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. Who wants to kick us off? Who's got questions?
Shall I go first?
Go for it.
I like this one. What are the most important things not to forget on my wedding day?
So this can be in terms of like physical things at your wedding, like centerpieces.
I can already think of one. Don't forget to brush your teeth on the morning of your wedding because you're so busy getting ready and doing hair, makeup, dresses. And just something as basic as I almost forgot to brush my teeth on the way out.
There you go.
I was like, oh no.
Make sure you don't have a bobble on your wrist.
Yes.
Imagine.
Yes.
Walking down the aisle, you look at your bouquet, you're like...
Yes. There's another one as well. Lewis won't know much about this, but a lady wears a garter on her wedding day. And my sister got me a lovely, like, traditional garter with the colour blue in it. And I have my new married name on. And I almost forgot to put it on. I was getting ready and someone reminded me, oh, don't forget this. It was my something blue.
Oh,
That's sweet.
How cute is that?
there you go.
But yeah, don't go down the church aisle and remember, you know, what do it beforehand. Yeah.
I got one the brides might not think of, but for the grooms,
Nice.
do your fly up. Because you got a lot to
would
think
help.
about. And you don't want to be that guy with your fly down in the photos.
Yeah, you don't want to go for your emergency wee just before and then you stood at the end of the aisle with your fly down.
That
Yes.
would not be good.
All the careful planning that we do for a wedding, don't want to forget the fly, brushing your teeth and putting your garter on.
Yeah.
That's 3 quite good ones to
There
kick
you
off.
go. That's before the day's even started.
Yeah. I suppose the most important thing is not to forget to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Because obviously you've got quite wrapped up in wedding planning, is take a deep breath on the morning. And even though brides are so nervous to walk in through the church or down the aisle, they're worried they're going to slip, fall, have they forgotten something? Is someone not coming last minute that they found out about?
Yeah.
It's just enjoy it and smile.
Yeah.
And practice your best smile beforehand. So when you're going down the aisle, you know, just relax, enjoy it.
Definitely.
And see who's there. Because the important thing is that everyone's there to see you get married.
Yeah.
I had one bride who was so scared and so nervous. She was actually in tears in the showroom. And I said, but all those people are there to enjoy it with you and to enjoy that moment. They're not there to laugh at you or look at you judgmentally because of your dress or your hair or that you might have tripped or, you know, that's not going to happen.
No.
But they're there to enjoy it. They're all your nearest and dearest. So enjoy the moment of walking in and seeing your groom and obviously all your family and friends around you.
Yeah.
I think that's the most important
And
thing.
then in that as well, I guess, is like, don't worry about the people who maybe couldn't make it. Because I feel like a lot of people, you spend so much time like making sure you've like invited every person who you want there.
Yeah.
But then if people obviously can't make it, don't get so hung up on the people who aren't there and rather think about the people who are there and who are there to celebrate with you.
Yeah, definitely.
'Cause that can be quite an anxious decision in the planning, is who's going to come, who's not going to come, who am I going to upset.
Yeah.
But you've done all the hard work.
Yeah.
It's your wedding day.
Oh,
Just enjoy who's
exactly.
there and the moment that you're in.
Exactly.
Instead
Definitely.
of worrying about
Yeah.
what could be or what could have been or
Yeah.
this, that and the other. Just enjoy the moment. I
Yeah.
think.
You
I
can
think
talk
so.
about that the day after.
Yeah.
Just you don't need to think about it.
Exactly.
Because the day goes by so quick, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
But
It's gone in a flash.
Yeah.
You need to enjoy and take some time maybe for each other.
Yeah.
Even if it's just when you go off for some photos, the first
Definitely.
photos, have that moment of you two together.
Yeah. That's why I quite like a first look.
Yes.
Because it gives you that time where it's like, it's literally planned in the day.
Yeah.
To make sure that you see each other, because then even after that, so you've had that moment together, then everything after that is with everyone else.
Yeah, yeah.
So at least you know that
Yeah.
you've had that moment with each
And
other before.
another thing I love is the new thing that a lot of photographers and I do is you get to see the room dressed
Yeah.
before everybody else, and you go in, you have that reaction shot as well.
That's cute.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I think
And then again, that's another moment where it's just you two. And
Yeah.
you get some adorable photos from it as well.
yeah, definitely.
And to savor those moments, you know. I can imagine the day, like you said, is going to fly by real quick.
Yeah.
So really try and make that mental effort to stop, take in the moment. Like you said, the first looks are good because you can take that moment in.
Yeah. And remember why you're there.
Yeah.
Like, the vows between you two. I'm looking into Lewis's like loving eyes right now. But like you do. You have to take that moment and realize what you're saying to each other, because this is a huge build up. Yeah. Massive build up.
You've literally been planning this for however long you have.
Another thing that happened on my wedding day was my husband didn't have his buttonhole on. And we look at photos now and realise that. But did I notice that on the day? Was I at all bothered? No, because we were looking at each other. Yeah. We were saying our vows. He didn't have his buttonhole on. It was in the box at the back of the church.
That's classic Martin.
Classic Martin. And my dad always reminded me of that. So my sister got married and he always reminds me that he had his buttonhole on for my sister's wedding. But, you know, another interesting fact is, just don't worry about the small things on the wedding day, even though it seems massive beforehand. Is that colour exactly what I wanted it to be? And this is decisions we make in the showroom with people beforehand. And, you know, and just let it go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let it go. Sound like Elsa.
You don't want to be up there on your wedding day, top table, having your dinner. You're like, there's not so many scatter crystals on this table that I wanted. I'm upset that this tiny little detail isn't right. It's like, look at the big picture. Save the moment.
Absolutely.
Don't.
And also, no one's going to notice stuff like that. Like, I promise you, people aren't looking at your tables going, they should have had more scattered crystals on these. Like, they're going to be fine. They're just going to think everything looks beautiful, and that's it.
I agree.
Do I have to have wedding favours for my guests?
Oh,
okay.
So that's an interesting one. And I get asked that a lot.
Yeah.
When people come in to show them, and they like to see their layout and what it's going to look like with their napkin and their place name and even a charger plate. Do you have to have a favour? No, I don't think you do.
Yeah, I don't think so. And I think depending on what you're thinking for a favour anyway, like when we used to work in weddings, the amount of favours I used to see just left.
Yeah, don't overthink it or overspend because a lot of them are left behind.
Yeah, I think if it's something like edible, like we see the Welsh cake ones all the time.
Yeah, all the time.
Like a fan favourite. Or something like drinkable.
The alcohol ones, they get drunk first.
Exactly. Just something like that. I think have those, but if you're thinking of anything else.
I love a charity pin.
Yeah,
so if that's near and dear, as a favour, you're making that donation to the charity. And that's lovely to have like a little charity pin on the setting. But on the whole, I don't think you have to have one. It's completely up to you.
I think so.
I don't think I'd go to a wedding and be like, oh, I didn't get a favour. I'm really annoyed with you.
Just before your 3-course meal.
Because they're feeding you as well. You're having the best day. Like, honestly.
You're there for free.
I love being a guest because we organise and dress so many. I just love it. I would not notice if I didn't have a favour.
No.
And it could save you a bit of money in the long run.
Yeah.
Going back to what you touched on, like a charity pin. I remember my cousin's wedding. The husband was part of the fire brigade service.
Yeah.
And he got involved in an accident before the wedding. Anyway, so instead of spending the money on favours, the favour was we've donated the money we would have spent to a charity.
Love that.
I think that's a thoughtful,
so personal way, as well, isn't it?
Way.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good way of going.
Yeah.
Because then it's and unless your guests are going to be upset that you donated to a charity, then
and
you
if they are, that's their problem. That's not your problem.
No, I would not be upset if I saw that. I think that's a lovely thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe the only other one I can sort of think of is something that we do, so kind of a little plug, is the place name.
Well, and I do say that a lot now to people who come in and they choose our beautifully like engraved gold, silver, acrylic place names. And most guests take those home straight away because that would be going straight in my bag. Yeah. And we even made some lovely ones with a little magnet on the back, and it was like a fridge magnet.
Yeah,
do you remember?
Yeah.
And love
we
that.
did bauble ones
We
for a
did.
Christmas wedding.
Yeah, with ribbon.
We've done loads of different ones.
Oh, there's so many cute ideas, but
Yeah.
your place setting could definitely double up as a favour.
Yeah.
Especially if you're going to go with the theme, so keeping it to the golds or the silvers. It's shiny and sparkly, and who doesn't like that?
Yeah.
Who doesn't?
And then
Exactly.
it adds to the place setting itself, like the whole thing in front of your guests.
Yeah.
It's like another little bit of like
Ooh, the luggage tag.
personal-
Now, that's a good one. Someone said to me this
Yeah.
week, she wanted the little luggage tag shape, and the ribbon was going to be in a pale lemon, which was her colour. That was going to be her colour. And she just loved the idea because, as she said, they can take it home afterwards and just hang it somewhere or use it on their actual luggage.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Who would have thought of that?
Yeah.
And with, like you said, with the ribbon colour, it's a great way of implementing your style, your theme,
Of course.
to the really small, minute details.
Yeah.
But it goes a long way.
Yeah, and that's enough colour for some people, isn't it? Because, you
Yeah.
just want that ribbon in a slightly different colour. And it's just to match with whatever the bridesmaids are in or whatever's on the back of the chair or, it's just cute.
Yeah. I like her.
Yeah, me too.
So favours, do I have to spend loads of money on them?
Don't have to
I don't
spend
think
loads
so.
of money on them.
Nah,
You
my
don't
answer's
have
no.
to have them.
No,
Like we said, you could just have the names and then people take this home.
yeah, definitely.
Fantastic.
Right, Lou, over to you.
My go. Let's see. Right then, is an earlier wedding better?
I got married really early,
At what time?
11.
Oh my goodness.
And my one memory of arriving at the church at 10:45, so that was even earlier, was my best friend running down the churchyard. She'd had her hair done at like 9:15. That's when they opened up, and she was like the last one to arrive. Now, I don't recommend that because that's really early. However, for me, I suppose it depends on if you've got lots of bridesmaids to get ready in the morning.
That's the thing, isn't it? Because you've got to think about your day doesn't start
No.
at the ceremony.
No.
The grooms might, depending on.
Dragged himself up like
Yeah.
half an hour before.
After his game of golf in the morning with the boys.
Yeah.
Exactly. But your day starts at like 5 a.m. anyway.
Yeah.
So you do not want to be like pushing it even further forward by having, say, like, I've even seen someone, because obviously it all depends on like the registrar or whoever's like actually doing your wedding, like the timings that they have available. So I've seen people have like 10:30 weddings, and I'm
That's
like,
early.
that is insane.
Yeah. I think the average start time for us seems to be 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
1:30.
Which is great for us. 10:30 ceremony is a wedding stylist's nightmare.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Especially
and then
if we can't get there the day before.
yeah, and the classic is we open at 8:30. You can come at 8:30.
Yeah.
And you're like,
And first guests are going to possibly arrive at 10 o'clock.
9:30.
Yeah.
It's like normally an hour before.
Yeah.
and it's like, oh, okay,
Yeah, that's not
let's get a couple more boys
Yeah.
on board. We're going to be there early this morning.
But yeah, I think about 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
1:30.
think
Because
that's
even then, you're
perfect.
not going to be seated to eat until about 4 o'clock, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that does give people the chance to have like a little snack before they come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a little pre-lunch.
Yeah.
I do worry if having a really early ceremony leaves more room for in the evening then just to be more tired. Because if I was getting up that early,
It's a
doing
long
all
day.
this
Yeah.
throughout the day, you want your party to really pick up momentum and keep going into the late evening.
Yeah.
I'd be knackered by
I'd be
10:30.
looking for a little nana nap
Yeah.
Definitely.
before.
And if you are
evening.
having like your grandparents there, older people there, they're going to be knackered.
Yeah.
They're going to be right up for it in the morning, though.
They're gonna be
Those
right up.
early birds.
Yeah.
They love
They
the
are.
early morning. But yeah, towards the end of the night.
Yeah.
they're gonna
Yeah. And you don't want your guests to start going home like really early because they are really tired.
Exactly.
Like you want the party to be going on till 11:30, 12 o'clock. But if everyone's really tired by 10 o'clock and sort of things are starting to, the
Wind
vibe's
down.
gone down and
Yeah.
everybody's sort of tired and sneaking off back to their rooms.
And then if you've got evening guests
Yeah.
and they are up for it because
Yeah.
they've only been there since like
Yeah.
7,
Yeah.
whenever, and then everyone else is going, you've
Yeah.
got like half a party there.
Yeah.
Don't want to risk it.
So not too early, not too late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think around the 1 o'clock mark
Yeah.
is perfect. And I
too.
think that does show in a lot of people like booking their weddings, and that is normally when registrars get booked up
Yeah.
quickest.
Good question.
So going back to the question, is an earlier wedding start time better? I wouldn't say
Yeah.
so.
No. Too
I would
many
say just
things
put
to
it-
do, too much stress in the morning, like getting ready, bridesmaids' hair and makeup and putting dresses
Yeah.
on. So no, not too early.
And for us, more time the better.
Yeah.
So just putting that out there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
earlier weddings, better? No.
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 Lush.
We don't know.
Oh, this is an interesting one. Best ways to elevate my wedding decor.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
So what's going to take the decor just from fantastic, just a little bit more, those little things?
Yeah.
What would you say that could be?
Would we say size matters, such as, centerpieces, the sizes of flowers we use on the tables?
Okay. We're quite blessed in what we have, because we do a lot of the centerpieces with the big floral balls on stands, say. But our floral balls themselves, they are humongous.
They're so big.
And they definitely elevate the table by the height of them and just the sheer impact. So actually that's exactly what I would think would definitely take it to a different level.
Yeah. Because I think when you look on the centerpieces, some floral balls you see, they're very small.
Yeah.
So I feel like maybe going for those bigger ones is really just make them seem a lot.
It packs a punch, especially if you've got like a big room,
exactly.
which a lot of the venues that we go to have like the high ceiling, stuff like that. You do want to match that with your centerpieces. So if you have just like teeny centerpieces in the middle of the table, then once people actually sit down, you can't even see them.
Yeah, exactly.
Then
they look a little lost, don't they? There's so many things to consider. And, part of what I do every day in the showroom is talk to brides about how many tables and how many guests and which venue and the size of the room and the scale of the room. Because of course, if you've got like 120 with a relatively small room, then we're definitely going to be looking at like how big the centerpieces are. But that's just a conversation to be had with like us if we're going to be doing your flowers. But I think definitely, so going back to it, the size does make a difference. And then it is also very down to where you're getting married. So like you said, like say if it's a marquee with the lower ceilings and a table's going to be right underneath the like dip in the marquee, we're going to probably say don't have as big centerpieces, but you could go big in the arch behind you in the ceremony, or there's other ways that you can make it bigger, or with like your table plan, like we have the new Our Best Buds table plan. I feel like that has a big impact. It's about first impressions as well, isn't it? So
always,
actually the welcome signs, there's a lot about you're welcoming your guests in. If that is like really on point, then you're going to think the rest is going to be like a cut above everything else, because wow, look what they did with their welcome sign and all the bits that are at the entrance. Even if it is like a broken arch as you walk through the doors, I think it gives an impression. That's definitely for me a way to elevate.
I think
it sets the tone, doesn't it? You're like, wow, we turned up, and this, the first impressions.
People want a wow, don't they?
Defo. Especially if they're going to like a lot of weddings, or if they're seeing a lot of the same. It's quite fun to show your personality in your wedding and in your decor.
I think on an item basis, a good way to elevate your guest tables and the top table is to put charge plates in. It really brings in, so say a lot, you're going down a gold, a silver, rose gold, potentially black theme. Having the charge plates on the table really brings the styling. So it's just gone from cutlery and a cloth and centerpiece to that all the way around. It fills the table, makes everything feel a lot bigger. And they're not that expensive, I don't think, what they can offer
for the impact.
I agree. I think that there's a preconception that lots of venues have charger plates and they see them out and then realise when I show somebody, actually it's just your cutlery and a napkin. And then you put the charge plate down, and how different does that tablescaping look?
100%.
And it just makes it look so much more classy, nicer. And it follows the theme of whatever you've decided on the day, colours wise, gold, silver, black. But I think the way to make your table look spot on, like elevate that look, is just the finishing, the icing on the cake. Is that what I'm looking for? The icing on the cake is probably the addition of a charge plate, and it's not that much.
No. I think as well, that goes back to what we said about like the place names and stuff like that. It's the individual like experience. So that person sits down and their personal space is being decorated to match the rest of the theme. everywhere else. So I think it does take you from just having a centerpiece, a table number, to then having their own experience. Same with like people hire coloured napkins. When they have like a little menu card, like it's all that experience as well. Because I see, so a lot of people say when I'm on Instagram, I'll see people at weddings, and the first thing that they post is their little like place setting.
Yeah.
So because it's like, oh, this is so cute, and then it's not taking a photo of your actual wedding. It's just like their little thing.
Yeah.
So I think that's a really nice way to do it.
Yeah, me too.
I agree.
Yeah.
Great. Who's next then? Who's got one they want to?
On to you, Chloe.
Want to go for it?
So this person said, I have a tight budget, but I want decor in every room of the venue. Is this even possible?
Yes.
100% yes. This is one of our favourite questions to answer.
Yeah.
Because it's way more possible than you think.
Yeah.
I think you got to be smart with what items you buy and the placement of those items. And I think, you can make them stretch and you can fill your venue for less than you think.
Yeah.
I think Claire has a lot of experience in navigating brides in the showroom.
So I remember the lady asking that question when she came to see us at the Hensall Wedding Fair a few weeks back. And she actually went outside and came back inside. She'd seen these like beautiful pillars with flowers on, not realising at all that they were at the entrance to the ceremony door, but they were actually centerpieces. Now, she assumed that she was going to have extras, and she didn't realise she could use the two together. Yeah. So that's a really common thing for us now to do, but you just don't realise that, there's so many items that can be reused after the ceremony, even from lanterns going down the aisle to the registrar flowers being reused as part of your top table floral arrangement. So I think there's so many ways now that we can use things. You can have decor in different parts of the venue and really discreetly, and that's, where we come in, or the staff on the day will just move things across and you won't even know it's happening on the day. Yeah. But those lanterns are just going to be around by the top table afterwards, perhaps. Or, again, reusing little bits and pieces like that in the evening, which would be such a nice experience for your evening guests to come in and say, oh, wow, my welcome sign, which was there in the day, has now been flipped. That's another one we now do.
A new one that we do.
And it's now got a lovely little welcome to our
Welcome
evening.
To the party.
Well, let's get this party started. That was a good one.
Yeah.
So we're definitely reusing things. Oh, another good one is fire mantelpieces, which lots of these beautiful traditional venues have these amazing fireplaces, which we love. And sometimes less is more. And that's great because maybe we'll just add a touch, a few candles here and there. But the runners that we're using on the top table will quite easily fit on top of the mantelpieces. Yeah. Now, how cute is that?
Yeah, it's perfect.
And it's all matching then, because it's literally the same flowers.
And it's at no more cost either, because say you're having 3 runs of this top table runner on your top table. One can go on the registrar table and then 2 can be used literally wherever you want them to be used. Like some people before, they've had them in front of the registrar table. So they've had one on top and then one directly in front. Yeah. I think that's quite cute.
Yeah, I do too.
And then, like you said, fireplaces in, I think Hensall has like 2 fireplaces that they have 3, but the 2 of them, people always like to dress those. Yeah. But then once you're done in the ceremony room, you don't go back into those rooms normally, unless the room is turned around for your reception. Yeah. But literally you can use, honestly, every single thing that you have in your ceremony room can be reused. Yeah. So it doesn't get just like hidden away then. And you're like thinking, oh my God, I paid however much on this one thing and I'm only seeing it for half an hour.
Yeah. Many people don't understand that, I think, when we start seeing people.
When we tell them, they're like...
It's quite overwhelming, isn't it? That first you're thinking about, oh my gosh, so many rooms. Yeah. Oh my gosh, do I need flowers here? And do I need flowers there? Do I need a sign here? And sign? But, actually, you're reusing so many things now that you're just paying for it once, and we're all for a bit of money saving at the moment, aren't we? Everybody loves a bit of... I think...
and if it means that you can dress every room that you want to dress, because instead of going, I really want this, but I also really want this, I'm going to have to not have one of them. It's like, no, actually, you can have all of it. Yeah.
Another good example, because you just touched on a few examples, and we see a lot of the time, we like dressing the aisle chairs. Yeah. Very effective, like having to decorate everything if you're on a little bit of a tighter budget. Yeah. But I would say most venues are more than happy to move those aisle chairs, and then they could be the chairs behind top table.
Yep.
Yeah.
So top table, the most important table, has decorated chairs.
Yep.
No extra cost.
Yeah.
And venues are fantastic. I got to say,
They are.
always helping us out, and they're obviously going to want to make your day as special as possible. And they're great for moving stuff here and there from the ceremony room into your reception room.
Yeah.
On the
They
day.
are.
Definitely.
And then as well, you can specifically ask your photographer to take a photo of top table once the chairs are in and whatever. So then you have, again, like that place setting and that chair. And then that can be the example of like when you look back, you can see that, and you'll probably forget that you didn't even dress the rest of them, because you don't have to.
No. Really.
Once people are sat in them, people's like jackets are on the back, like, so you don't have to dress them.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
that's a way of not dressing them, but still dressing them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But no, it's definitely doable. You can dress as many rooms as you like using essentially what you've got for the day. Things get moved back and forth and you don't even realise it.
Yeah.
Exactly. And another thing we like to put a floral arch behind the registrar's table. If we're available to in the week, we can go back and move them, but sometimes on the weekend we can't. But groomsmen,
Yes.
They're always down to have.
There's always some heavy bit of muscle there that can just move something through.
use your groomsmen. I mean, they are there for
definitely.
a fun time, but they're also there to make you have a great day.
Yeah.
And I'm not being funny, it takes 5 minutes.
Literally.
So they'll be more than happy to help.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Because we get that quite often. We're like, great, we're more than happy
Yeah.
for groomsmen to move these big arches from behind the registrar's table
Yeah.
to behind your top table.
Yeah.
This simple to move.
And of course, you have most of your photos when you're sat at the top table.
Yeah.
So you want to have your arch behind you, because it kind of frames the two of you, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's
But
really
also, there's nothing nicer than seeing you two facing each other doing your vows with that arch in the back for the ceremony. So why not use it twice?
Exactly.
Totally makes sense. And another thing we could do now is the addition of the neon sign. So we're just adding like the happily ever after neon sign to the arch.
Yeah.
And maybe you don't want that in your ceremony photos. So that just gets moved, that gets attached to the arch just afterwards.
Yeah.
So, and for the evening, obviously, it's perfect, isn't it? Because it's party time then, and you want as much sort of bright as you can.
Love neon.
The room gets darker, and then it looks really good. So.
Yeah.
The candles. Get replenished.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love it.
So going back, yes, you can make your money stretch by being a bit smarter with
100%.
the products you decorated.
I feel like whoever you go to as well, a good venue decorator will tell you that as well. Because a lot of the time we're not trying to just like take as much money from you as possible. We want your day to be exactly what you want it to be.
Yeah.
So I think that's the perfect way to do it.
Definitely.
And then it keeps all the decor the same as well. So you're not worried about, that might not match there, that might not match there, because it's literally the same pieces.
Yeah.
So
It all works.
100%. Oh, this is a question for you, Lou.
For me,
I feel like this was made for you. You sure you haven't been like writing down on the card first? What are the must-have wedding signs that I need on my wedding day?
okay. I think with signage, obviously you can go from the bare minimum to literally signs for every single detail. As terms of like the essential ones, a welcome sign
I think so.
has to be a table plan. Otherwise, your guests aren't going to know where they're going to be sat.
I have had people ask if they need a table plan. And I'm like, honestly, if you want your day to run a million times easier, yes.
Yeah.
You don't want John, the 80-year-old granddad, coming up to you and be like, where am I sat?
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
because you're like, I don't know, because there's so many people there. So table plan essential.
Yeah.
And then I'd go to table numbers, so they know which table's what, and place names, they know where they're sat.
Yeah.
I think that's the essential ones. You can do mirrors, you can do whatever style you want. We like to do acrylic ones.
Well, the acrylics are great, aren't they? Because there's more choice of colours.
Yeah.
So if we've got your colour, then you can have all your signs matching in the same colour, and therefore you can bring that hint of colour through by your acrylic signage.
And then going back to one of the previous questions about how do you elevate your wedding, having these essential wedding signage items all done the same. Is this going to elevate
fonts.
it? Yeah, same design, everything.
Yeah.
When we sometimes say we're picking up from our wedding the day before that just happened, and then we see other things, and maybe it's like a DIY, which is great, but there's like mismatched fonts, like stuff like that. Or I just see photos of mismatched fonts. I'm like, I don't know, maybe that's just an us thing, but I think it definitely does elevate your wedding if everything is cohesive. Even though they're in different rooms, say like the welcome signs at the front, the table plans, buffet at the back, I just think it's perfect.
Yeah, I agree.
And it like almost like leads your guests through the venue. So you see the welcome sign, then you'll see the table plan, and you go to
flows.
the table.
Of course.
So I think, like again, that personal moment for your guests having like their space, their moment, their everything. Then I think that's really good.
I think so.
Bare minimum, we've said now, we've mentioned, but what are the extra? If you're extra, and we have lots of brides order extra signs, and sometimes it's like just a few weeks before the wedding. But things like
Mr. and Mrs. hanging signs on the back of chairs.
Go on the back of the seat.
They're fun. And they're really cute.
I definitely keep that afterwards and have that hung somewhere in the house.
You can keep them.
But again, I wouldn't say that's essential.
Nope.
Yeah.
Another non-essential one I'd say is an unplugged ceremony sign.
Yeah. It's good to have
it's
as
good
well.
to have, but it's not essential. Same with a...
I love a cocktail menu, like a his and hers.
That's one we see a lot of as well, isn't it?
Again, not essential, but good to have. I think that's the thing with signs. You can really
add on as many as you want.
I can think of a few. So I'm always asked for a memory sign. Because that's quite important for some people. They just want a photo or two with a lovely little quote, aimed at the people who can't be there that day. So that's really, really special. Again, why wouldn't you do it in your matching colours? So that's a perfect example. And obviously now quite trendy to have flip-flops out in the evening for the brides, kick their heels off, dance around in flip-flops. So a little sign for that. And also the little signs for the... male and female toilets with their little basket of goodies.
We've done loads of those.
Yeah, we have, haven't we?
They're lovely.
Yeah.
What else could you have? You could have drink stirrers. If you want to go like so extra, you can have menus in the acrylic. We've done a matching menu to a table number and like kind of like a double layered moment. I think that's so cute. Honestly, there's so many things you could do. I'm just like on Pinterest.
You can have a sign for.
Yeah.
But then maybe go back to trying to do stuff on a budget.
Don't
keep those essential ones. But if you have the budget for it, you can sign everything. Keep it all the same.
Reserved seats.
Signs.
Reserved seats.
Literally everything.
Cocktail sign I like.
I love a cocktail sign.
And we have a wedding coming up and she's named her cocktails after her dogs. They're going to have a picture of them on there.
Yeah.
That would definitely be something
That'd
that
be
you
so
would
cute.
do.
The Teddy and the Molly.
Oh, the Teddy. Oh my God, the Teddy.
I feel like the Teddy would be like an old fashioned. No, Winston would be an old fashioned.
Yes.
Served with a cigar.
Yeah, we're doing this little cocktail sign for her with the dog's pictures on.
That's really sweet.
Isn't it?
Love that.
And then with signage, you can add in a lot of personal things like that.
Yeah, that's another perfect thing about it. Yeah.
And obviously it doesn't have to be a table number because we're getting loads and loads of requests for table names. I want to name it after places we've been.
Yeah.
Or
we did a May the 4th wedding, which is obviously Star Wars Day.
We did.
And they had, because obviously with our UV printer as well, it's so easy to print like intricate designs. So they had all of their tables were like Star Wars.
Logos.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah. It can be anything you want it to be. Yeah. We've had photos. Again, because we can print on our acrylic. Yeah. We've printed those photos out.
Yeah. It's really personal, isn't it? It's just, it's something for everybody.
And then you can keep those afterwards as well. So
I think a wedding is personal.
Yeah.
To the bride and groom.
It is.
Because sometimes you see these beautiful Pinterest ones. Like, oh, this looks amazing, this looks amazing. But then if you just went for that, not adding any of your own thing in, you're just going to be like, oh,
do you know what I love as well? Is that, so you can have a beautiful table number, which is in whatever colour you want to match everything. And then the bride gives the groom the option to put his idea on it.
That's his input.
Table Tottenham. And, it's a rugby team or a football team. Or the best one we did was fishing lakes. How nice was that? Because he got his say on it and he looked amazing, even though she was worried. Oh my God, it's fishing lake names. But he looked amazing because
it's still in the fonts, still in the colours. Yeah. So it's still what you want it to look like, but then they also get their little input there.
And I do meet with these people every day, you know, and that's his take on the wedding was naming the tables after.
That's classic.
Films is another good one, isn't it?
Films is a good one.
Yeah. Album names, song names,
places you've been. I think we said that one.
Yeah. Oh, champagne names. That was.
We did have that.
I only know like 2 makes of champagne, so I wouldn't have had enough.
Asda's own.
Yeah. Carver. Is that
Extra
even champagne?
special.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I would know that.
Is that a type of champagne?
You worked on a bar. You should know this.
Don't test me because I will not know. Moving on.
Yeah.
Let's go. Who's got another question for us?
I've got one more. So how do I choose the best food options for my guests? I think you shouldn't have to think about that, really. Because at the end of the day, for them, it's a free meal.
It's what I like.
Yeah,
isn't
exactly.
It? That's what you're thinking,
Choose
isn't it?
your favourite, 100%.
Yeah, I agree.
And if people are going to moan, like, oh, I don't like beef.
Yeah.
Well, you've had a free meal.
Have
You
the
can't
veggie
please
option.
everyone, can you?
Can't
To be
please,
honest,
Yeah.
it's just, you know, I've been invited to this wedding. I'm going to sit down and eat whatever you chose for me and enjoy it.
Yeah.
And mostly I would enjoy anything. But I agree. And obviously there are the standard gluten-free, dietary requirements,
vegan,
all those.
and they get catered for anyway.
Yeah.
Normally, like there's normally an option that
Yeah.
the chefs will go, okay, there's a veggie, they'll have this.
Yeah.
So
Go with what you like.
Yeah.
100%.
For me, it wouldn't be like any stinky fish.
Yeah. No fish.
That would be upsetting for me.
Yeah.
I'd be like, no, thank you. Even if you all like it, I'm not having a prawn starter because
Yeah.
of that. But then that's my prerogative.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then as well, if you're trying to like choose something for everyone, you're going to get so caught up on that. And I think that's when people can get really worried with their weddings, is when you are thinking about everyone else maybe a bit too much.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it is your day with your partner. And that's all that matters. Like you can literally serve everyone burgers and just be like, that's that. Like, exactly.
Yeah, I'd be happy with burgers.
Yeah. There you go.
Definitely.
Maybe that's a life hack.
There we are. Right, I have another question.
Go on.
Oh, it's a good one. I'm worried about the weather on the day. How do I make sure it doesn't ruin my day?
Yeah.
We are in Wales. Wales is wet.
It's literally almost July and it's raining.
We had about 3 good days this week, didn't we?
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if any of those good days were on the days where we had wedding setups to do.
Yeah.
So you imagine being a bride and just worrying so much about that.
I think one of the good things, especially about venues here, is they do almost cater for the weather. So as much as they do have lovely grounds, like lovely gardens and everything, they also have lovely insides. So if you are worried about what am I going to do, where am I going to be able to go for photos and stuff like that, there's so many places where they have lovely photo opportunities inside.
Yeah.
I think it's easy to worry about something in the future, like the weather. But on the day, come rain or shine, you're going to be having your wedding day and you're going to be so caught up in the moment and having your day.
Yeah.
If it rains, it's like you got, you know, you're enjoying your day. So I'm not sure if that's
and I
going to be
think
on
the
top
chances are there may be a glimmer of dry weather during the day, even if you do unfortunately have rain, and the photographer will be on it. They will have you outside in that moment where the rain has stopped and the clouds have moved away or whatever. Even if it's later that day, and you'll get some photos outside hopefully. And if you don't, like Chloe said, the most amazing parts of your venue, there's staircases and fireplaces and the front entrance, if you like, where you can have your photos done. But obviously we all want some sunshine. Of course we do.
It is like, that's best case scenario, isn't it? But then if it isn't.
And then going back to like the photographer and things, and we touched on it in other episodes, like the candid photos and the more photos not standing up in a line outside the venue. It's more of those candid ones, and I think they're the ones people value a lot. Because it's true and it's...
And I guess the people as well that maybe you wouldn't have chance to talk to in the day, like say people in the background having conversations, photographers catching that. And it makes you remember about those people then afterwards. Which is quite sweet, quite special.
Fantastic.
I think that's good. And like you said about photographers, they are like probably checking the weather app every 5 seconds.
They're going to be watching for that glimmer of sun or just dry weather to get you outside for some photos.
Yeah.
And if you get your heart set on an outside wedding, and you're outside, fantastic. Yeah. And if you do have to come inside, all of the decor, all the ideas that you had will just be inside, and that's fine, and that's lovely too.
Yeah. It'll still be decorated the way that you would have wanted it.
Yeah, of course.
Just in a different location.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. And you spend most of the time indoors anyway.
Yeah. Unless you are literally like, I don't know. It wouldn't even be something in this country, would it?
No.
You wouldn't have an outdoor only wedding.
No, imagine that picnic.
Risky.
Well, no, you need to go abroad if you're thinking that you absolutely 100% want to be like outside all day.
And then you'll hopefully have more stable
But we're
weather.
kind of never happy because if it's too hot as well, your makeup's going to melt. Yeah. You're going to be sweating.
Yeah. I'd rather be indoors with the aircon, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if the weather doesn't bother you, get married in the winter.
Yeah.
Like I did.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you haven't got to worry about the sun.
And you had a lovely wedding.
Lovely wedding. And actually, December.
Did it snow?
The day after.
Oh.
I really wanted those snowy photos.
You should just put your dress back on.
Yeah, Photoshop them all. We couldn't even get home the next morning because the snow had come in really, really hard and fast that night. But we had some daylight. I was happy with that.
Yeah.
We got some photos outside. I think that's all you can expect in December.
Yeah, I think
But that's
so.
obviously everybody. And anyway, if you do get married in winter, you can have just loads and loads and loads of fairy lights.
Yeah.
And make it all seem so...
And how romantic is that?
Oh,
That's
I know.
lovely.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Perfect. So I think that's everything for this episode, but also this season.
Wow.
I can't believe that's come to an end so quick.
I know. It literally felt like, because we were talking about it for so long, that's just flown by.
Yeah.
What to expect for next time?
Nice. So we'll be done with 2024 wedding season,
Wow.
which is a big mountain we got to climb.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to get it done and do a really good job.
Yeah.
And then we'll come back in September, I believe.
I think so.
Around
September.
then.
Yeah.
Hey.
With more guests, more questions, more answers, hopefully.
Yeah.
We'll be a few months wiser, so that'll be good.
Maybe a
And
few
more tired looking. Especially you guys have to go out super early.
We'll be zombies, wedding zombies.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll have some fun stories and some new experiences to share with you on the podcast, season 2.
Yeah.
Maybe your wedding would have been and gone
Oh my goodness.
by the time that we're back.
Yeah.
Because we've got so many coming up now.
Yeah.
Hopefully you listened to the podcast, took on so much valuable information.
Hopefully we've given you something.
Yeah. And then you've had the most amazing wedding in 2024.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yay.
Amazing.
Thanks,
Lovely.
guys.
Thank you. And we'll see you on the next one.
Bye for now.